Do you ever think of safety precautions when you are getting ready for a date? I mean, what if something goes wrong? Or if your date tries to take advantage of you? What do you do in that regard? In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 6 dating and safety tips that will help you in your next date. Stick with me to the end of this video. It will be worth your time. I'll be right back. Alright guys, thanks for joining me on this very one. My name is Chris and this is my YouTube channel. Without wasting much of your time, let's jump right into the video. 6 dating and safety tips you need to follow. You need to take note of and follow on your next date. It is quite important to take this into consideration. Number 1, text a friend, sibling, or a relative. It is quite important at least 1 or 2 persons, whether a friend or a sibling or a relative, is aware specifically of your whereabouts, because you do not know this person you want to have a date with. Anything can happen. You don't know the heart of this particular man, so you need to make sure someone is aware of your whereabouts, specifically where the date is going to take place and what time. And you need to let them know as well when you're going to be returning back home. Always make sure a friend, sibling, or a family member knows where and when you are making your date or meeting your date. It's also a good idea to plan on texting a person you will talk to about a date when you get home, so they can make sure you're safe. If you don't get a text, if they don't get a text from you when you're supposed to, they will know something's up and can get in touch with you. This is quite important you take note of. Because if you look at it, take for instance, you want to go out on a date or you want to travel, you're not informing anybody of your whereabouts. If anything happened, how are they going to locate you? Because the heart of men, some men, their heart is so evil, they have ulterior motive alongside the date. So as soon as there's something wrong, you give them specific time you want to get back home. And as soon as that particular time reaches and they can't hear from you, they will have to get in touch with you. You need to take that into a serious consideration. Number 2, ensure to drive yourself. Ensure to drive yourself. One of the basic reasons why you need to ensure you drive yourself is that you want to keep your address. You want to keep your address away from this particular date because you do not know the person is a stranger. On your first outing with someone you don't know well, it is advisable to drive yourself or take public transportation to the place where you will meet, as this will keep your address private until you know you can trust the date. This is really important. It is also ensure that you won't be going somewhere you don't want to go and that you have control. If you don't have a car, take a cab, public transportation, or ask a friend to drop you off and pick you up until you know someone better. It is always a good idea to meet him there. So what it is trying to explain to you is that you need specifically keep completely your address away from this person. All right? One of the basic reasons why you need to keep your address away from the person is that he doesn't come unannounced. He doesn't tailgate you. He doesn't plan any evil attack. So always make sure that, it's not compulsory that you need to have a car to have a date. If you don't have a car, you can tell a friend to drop you off and pick you specific time. All right, this is really very important, all about your safety. This is quite important and quite crucial. You keep your address away from the person and you know you are not going to a specific place where you do not know. This is really, it does really matter. Take note of this very one. Number 3, meet in a public place. A public place is always very good to meet because at least, you know, before your date can try anything funny, we have people all around that can actually come to rescue you. Always choose a meeting place to be public. The more people, the better. If your date insists that they want you to meet somewhere more private, don't give in. Suggest a meeting at a coffee shop or a busy restaurant and checking the other spots out if the first few dates go well. You should always avoid being singled out and alone with your date for too long, at least at the beginning. So for all of these things, it's talking about safety precautions. It's quite important because if you don't meet in a public place, you decide to meet in a private place, which, I mean, your date has chosen, there's every possibility that evil might have been planted there. There is every possibility that he had decided to plant one or two things to attack you or to carry out his ulterior motive. This is really, really important that you need to take note of. Number 4, never leave your drink. There are few reasons why you want to, pop out of that public place where you are or leave your seat and your drink for one or two reasons. Either you want to receive a call in a private place because of the noise in the public area, or you want to use the convenience. Any reasons could pop up as a result of the reason why you want to get up. As a matter of fact, it is not compulsory that you have to be on seat 24/7 while you are at the public place. You want to pop up. So do not leave your drink. It is either you finish the drink before you step out, or you want to take your drink with you to receive your call. This is really important. Never leave your drink. You are probably aware or heard not to accept drink or food from stranger at any function, party or bar. And you also shouldn't leave your drink alone with your date. There are tasteless, odorless and colorless substances or drugs that can be split into the drink and have been known to assist in sexual assault. It's always best to be overly cautious when it comes to protecting your drink. If at any point you suspect you may have been drugged, don't hesitate. Leave and get help right away. Because the moment you step up to go to the restroom or you want to receive a specific call outside, colorless, different kinds of drugs, don't forget that I'm not saying your date is having an ulterior motive, but what if he is having an ulterior motive of wanting to carry out some sort of attack, sexual assault or things like that? There's every possibility that it can, drop some sort of substance in your drink, and before you come back, it will have dissolved and colorless and tasteless in your mouth. Then the moment you drink it, you become very unconscious and it can carry out all his act. So it is quite important you do not leave your drink whenever you are stepping out of your seat. Number 5, trust your instinct. Trust your instinct. After the timeout, after the whole show, after the date has been over, during your conversation, one or two things will have been generated. You will be able to know if you will continue with this particular person. It is always very, very good to take notes specifically of what comes out of the person's mouth, of your date's mouth, his body languages, the way he approaches you, the way he addresses you. This is really important that you need to take them into account. At the end of the day, you have a gut instinct that's usually accurate. In fact, research shows that women are more skilled than men in reading nonverbal gestures and emotions, which means your date doesn't have to say anything to you to sense what his motives are. If someone is making you uncomfortable for reasons you just can't explain, trust your gut and leave right immediately. It is quite important you take your instincts along with you when you are going on a date. At least this is really going to help you out in a whole lot of ways. Number 6, research him. Research him. Find out more about him. Get few details of his name, probably his date of birth if it's possible. Where does he work? Go to some websites, like LinkedIn, like different kinds of websites where you can find out more about him. If he says he works in a specific place, try as much as possible to see if it's possible. You put a call through to that particular organization to find out if he works in their place. Although it is not the best idea to extensively internet stalk your date over social media before you go out. It runs the funnel of conversation. It is a good idea to do a little bit of research and check if your date is who he is. Check LinkedIn profile instead of Facebook, which is more professional and will give you an idea of who he is. So there are basic platforms, there are basic sites where you can check a specific data of a specific person, at least to an extent, to make you to believe. It doesn't mean it's going to give you 100% characteristics and feature of this particular data of yours, but at least it's a beginning, it's a stepping stone. You know, it's a stepping stone, it's a good step in the right direction to tell you specifically few things about him. So then if you're not convinced yet with regards to who he is, you need to intensify more on the few questions you need to ask him. Thank you very much, guys. This is what I've got for you today. If you have any questions whatsoever, please leave it in the comment section for us. If you have any comment whatsoever apart from questions, also leave it in the comment section. I'll be coming again your way to speak to you about something else. If this is your first time and you want to roll with us on this, why don't you go ahead and click on the subscribe button, open every notification so that you'll be notified. And on this one, I'm going to be dropping a note. Thank you very much, and I'll be seeing you in the next one. Bye for now.